In case you missed it, Blake Snell said that he wouldn't take a pay cut to play baseball this year because the risk of contracting the virus is not worth it. Bryce Harper commented on Snell's statement, saying that he had agreed. There's clearly two sides to the argument here. There are obviously millionaires who won't really be affected by a pay cut, but they would also be risking their lives just to play a game and not get paid the full amount. So let's hear what the First Take Cast has to say.
Do you have a problem with Blake Snell and Bryce Harper's comments?
Not at all. I don't have a problem with someone saying, you know what, I'm willing to take a risk with my own health. Forget about, for a second, being a vector for the disease, right? For being someone who's concerned about spreading it. Let's just start with how people feel about themselves. Because a lot of people say, oh, you have to take a risk. Yeah, but you're not just risking yourself. We don't know where the virus is. Federal government's done a terrible job isolating it. We just don't know where it is. And so if we don't know where it is, we can't contain it, right? So that's why there's social distancing. Let's start there. So even people say, well, I'm willing to take risks. It's not just about you. But let's start with you. If you're saying, if an individual is saying, hey, this is not just people over the age of 60. We're seeing people die of strokes in their 30s and 40s. We're seeing younger people, like this attacks the brain, the kidneys, the heart, etc. If someone is spooked by that, there is no vaccine, and I don't want to play, that's their choice.
So Max is on the side of health first, worry about the money later. I think health is definitely the main priority when discussing a return.
That's their choice. So I'm always okay with someone saying, no, I choose not to play or to work. Stephen A., as you said the other day, these are not essential workers. That's number one. Number two, you know how teams structure contracts, even in Major League Baseball, where Stephen A., you and I agree, there should be some restrictions in terms of the length of contract, stuff like that. But Major League Baseball is much more labor-friendly as a result of the hard work of the players than some of the other leagues. There's no salary cap, for example. There's luxury tax and revenue sharing, but no salary cap. And so Major League Baseball, though, even MLB, even MLB, Stephen A. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Stephen A., go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are you finished? All right, I'll go. Okay, I got you. Listen, I completely disagree with you. I think that I don't have any problem with how Snell feels. I don't have any problem with how Bryce Harper feels. I think it was a dumb thing to say, particularly in this moment in time. I got to get mine. I'm sorry, Max Kellerman. I'm not Dr. Fauci, and I'm not trying to be. And I'm not going to get into the minutia of the things that you say as it pertains to the threats that entail the coronavirus. We all know we're living it right now. Gloves, masks, all of that stuff is necessary right now. Safety first. We get all of that. I don't need to regurgitate those comments. What I will say, however, is this. You are a Major League Baseball player. You are a participant in America's national pastime, which is clearly lagging behind the NFL and the NBA in this day and age. They have failed to ingratiate themselves with the younger audience. Their audience gets older and older. Everybody's looked at the sport. You know, you've got the reviving baseball in the inner city and things of that nature, their RBI program and stuff like that, where they try to pay attention and really ingratiate themselves with minorities throughout this country, even though they usually go elsewhere outside this country to get minorities. But the point is, they have been lagging behind those other two sports, basketball and football, because they failed to ingratiate themselves with the younger generation. And so because of that, you're looking at the dissipating power that they've had. It's dissipated to some degree. The Players Association, as powerful and as potent as it is not what it used to be. And we all know that. The players themselves have lamented it. And as a result of that, you're going to find yourself in situations where if you alienate an audience in this day and age, you're hurting yourself. Snell is out there saying, man, I got to get mine. He makes perfect sense. Excuse me, I tell everybody all the time, I don't give a damn how much money you make. Give away 50% to Uncle Sam because they coming for that. So whatever they said you make, chop that in half. And then when you consider the cuts that they already negotiated, I have no problem with the Players Association's position that, wait a minute, we already discussed this. We had already dealt with this. What's the problem now? I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
What I have a problem with is how he came across. 33 million plus people have filed for unemployment. Oh, I got to get mine.
So I'm going to assume that ESPN reporters have taken a pay cut since ESPN isn't making money off live games. So he's saying everyone is taking sacrifices, so MLB players should too.
When you were scheduled to make $7 million. It's just a dumb thing to say. Bryce
It's a
Harper,
bad look.
You signed the contract. You signed for 13 years, over $300 million. I don't blame him one bit. It's just not smart to say that. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. You're right. It's a bad look. But even baseball, as I was saying, that's been better in recent decades in terms of paying players than the other sports and contracts, etc. Even they want to save money, right? Like they don't want to pay labor, so they have a system where the first several years of your career you don't really make money. Now, you make money compared to the working man, obviously, because you're among the best in the world at what you do in a very rare skill. But Snell made like $500,000 for winning the Cy Young Award. Not as a bonus, that was his entire salary. Eventually, he signs a $50 million extension. Stephen A., that's still lower than he would get on the open market, but he's not a free agent yet, right? So he signs a $50 million extension, and normally these teams escalate the salaries. So year one, it's $7 million. Year two, it's 11, then 13, then 16.
Matt?
The teams do that to help themselves financially. So if Snell's going to sit there and say, wait a minute, I'm in this $7 million year where that's going to get cut in half now, I'm good. I'll wait until I get the payout in years 3, 4, and 5
Max,
or whatever it is.
Your argument is profound if somebody was debating whether he was right or wrong. That's not what we're debating here. What we're talking about is how smart was it to say that at a time like this? You remember, the owners want them to come back to the negotiating table. Remember, there's a CBA in 2020 to deal with. I mean, what are you doing? You shut the hell up and let your Players Association speak. You shut the hell up. You signed a $50 million contract.
Okay.
You can't tell people at a time when 33 million people plus are on unemployment at this time. You can't sit up there, I got to get mine. I can't accept half of $7 million. Shut up. That's just dumb. Period.
The messaging wasn't great along those lines, but once again,
that's all I'm saying.
Here's a player who is not yet really a millionaire, who's about to be one, talking about his money, but the owners can talk about
Bryce
making
Harper
their billions, but they
Max.
frame it as we don't want to lose
Bryce
billions,
Harper
and that's
said
okay.
something. Bryce Harper agreed with him publicly. You just signed for $300 million plus and 13-year guaranteed contract. Why are you opening your mouth? Shut up.
Because the owners are making multiples of that.
That's
over
what the
those
Players
years.
Association is for.
Yeah.
Let me know where you stand on this conflict in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Thanks for watching.